Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio. 7 Mile Radio.
Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the social media platforms. This is your host, Emmett, and we got another Power Pack show for y'all today over here on Revolutionary Wealth Builders on 7 Mile Radio. Show titled Love and Finance. And before you guys get all gushy inside, this is not just relegated to the conversations between people who are in relationships. These are all the people that we love in finance. You know, finances can be a complicated discussion when it comes to the people you love. So let's see if we can unpack this and peel back the layers of this situation and see if we can come to some agreements and come to some positive conclusions about how we should push forward while we building relationships and maintaining our family relationships and when money is involved. And so I think it's an important discussion for us to have. I'm going to tell you some things that I do and don't do regarding money and family, and some things, some good examples in the celebrity community of individuals who I think get it right. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, love and finances. So before we get deep off into the conversation, let me make sure my super producer, Big Mark, over here, 7 Mile Radio, Mark, is good.
What's the word? What's the word, good brother?
Nothing much, man. You know, another Thursday, another show of feeding the people. That's it.
I can dig it. I'm looking forward to it as usual, brother. You always drop the knowledge on the airwaves. So what we talking about today? Love and finance, you said.
Yeah.
Love and finance. Sound like we about to get loose on it today.
Oh, man. It's going, hey, I'm going to tell, I'm right now, I'm sharing it with my people. I'm telling them to tap in.
All right. Let me go ahead and do the same. All right, quick. Put that on there like that, and then put the other one on this page.
Let me see here. Yeah, man. So the first thing that we have to acknowledge is that, like my mother used to say, blood is blood and mud is mud. My mother used to say that when I was younger. Blood is blood and mud is mud. And essentially what that means is that your blood is your blood. All of this other, it don't matter. And when you get married and you have children together, you and your husband or wife is now a blood relative. Y'all are bound by the building of family and the marriage and all of this. This is just like blood, low key. So, like my mother used to say, I'm going to start the conversation off with her old proverb, blood is blood and mud is mud. And, you know, I'm going to run down a few things that I've been noticing in the news. 50 Cent and his son beefing over money. Jalen Rose and his sister beefing about this property that she was living in that was his mother's property. These things are examples of what I like to call people not understanding their responsibility. You know, and I'm going to give you some good examples because I'm going to break all of these examples down and I'm going to explain it to you from a perspective of which I know of it in a second. But I want y'all to keep in mind that Country Wayne takes care of all his baby mamas. And I want you guys to keep in mind that although Kevin Hart may not have a strong relationship with his father, he financially makes sure his father is straight. Blood is blood, mud is mud. Another example of this is Dwayne Wade and his baby mother, the one who was having the mental health challenges, and then his child. We have to remember that when you are connected to the child and the child is connected to the mother, if the mother hurts, the child hurts. Blood is blood, mud is mud. And I think we get all of this lost when we get into these conversations about they wronged me, I don't like them, they ain't right, they don't know what to do with money. all of that is cool. All of that is logical thinking, but blood is blood and mud is mud. And so let's start with the Jalen Rose situation. Jalen Rose is a multimillionaire thousands of times over. I have no idea what the circumstances are in this particular circumstance, in this situation. But what I do know is that he is, well, I don't even know if he's very well off. But what I do know is that it is public record that he has made millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. That's public record. Mm-hmm. The sister can be cracked out, strung out, retarded. None of it matters, because when you are connected to someone by blood, the struggles that they go through, you cannot excel any higher than the struggles that the people you are connected to are enduring. And we have to understand that. When you have that type of money, you should never be in a situation where you hate your family members so much that they come out in public and start discussing what you are not doing financially. Does he owe her anything? No. Are they blood relatives? Yes. And just by blood, if you have it and you good and you're positioned, you shouldn't take care of somebody every day and make sure that every bill is paid and baby them and carry them. But to pull a property pull the rug from up under her feet because of whatever reason, you have the power to, you have the right to, it's your house, you can do whatever, then I think he might be making a mistake that he might regret when he gets older. You got to remember, you got nieces, nephews, you have other family members. And I'm not saying that he's even wrong in this situation. But when you have, with great power comes great responsibility. So you must make sure that with the power that you have, that you wield that power in a way where all things that are connected to you are covered. Because like I said, when the people that have your blood flowing through their veins are struggling and you're not, it's never a good look. It's never a good look for somebody to be able to walk up to somebody on the street and say, this Jalen Rose sister right here laying in this phone booth. That's a bad look, no matter what. It's inexplicable. I don't care what she has done short of, if she hasn't done anything to you or your children, it is a bad look for Dwayne Wade's baby mama to be on the street, to be tricking or whatever she may have been doing. Those things are bad looks. You do not want anything connected to your name exposed out in the world for a number of reasons, because it's a vulnerability against you as well. If you have a 15-year-old son and your baby mama is on the street and she gets sex trafficked and they say they want $3 million, are you obligated to pay the $3 million? And your son walks up to you and says, Dad, I want you to pay this $3 million and get my mother back. I'm hurting. I can't have my mother out here like that. I don't care what's wrong with her. That woman had me. Are you obligated to do that? The answer is yes, if you want to maintain a relationship with your son. So my point is why even allow her to be vulnerable, to be in harm's way, to create more issues, and you have to put out a bigger fire later. And we have to understand the importance of things being connected to our name, that we keep them safe and protected. Love and Finances is the title of the show, but this is a really important discussion about men understanding their responsibility when it comes to keeping everything that is connected to them safe to the extent that they can. Safe to the extent that they can. You got something to tap in with, brother? Oh, okay. I saw you when the chair get to moving. I'm like, Brother Mark getting ready to spit. And so I'll just pivot real quick and then move over to the 50 Cent situation. 50 Cent contends that his son do look just like him, by the way.
Well, man. Boy.
Look just like him.
Boy.
And now his son is an adult, like 18, 19, 20, 21, however old he is. He talk like a sucker. Like he talking some, like, he 6,700 ain't enough. I agree with all of that. I agree with 50 Cent. And dude has no business running with any dudes that 50 don't get along with. But at the end of the day, that's your blood son. And I believe that those dudes that are trying to lure 50's son to run with them, I believe that those dudes just trying to use them to get to 50, but that's all the more reason why 50 need to have that dude out the way in the suburbs somewhere and just give him what he need. It's less expensive to take care of the ones you love on the front end, even if you don't rock with them like that, as opposed to having to coming back around and clean up a mess. And I think 50 Cent should understand, have the intellectual capacity to understand that it's better to deal with this on the front end than to be cleaning up a mess. And essentially that's what he would end up eventually doing. And the same thing, somebody could kidnap him. He might say, I don't care. But 50 Cent has other children. That's my brother. So they grow up in 20 years from now, it's still documented legally that you let them just throw my brother in the river. That was my brother, Dad. There is no escaping the responsibility. So you might as well just take care of it on the front end. It's very important. Very, very important.
Absolutely.
You know? And so now let's talk about a little bit, because at the end of this show, we're going to talk about relationships, trust me. We're going to dig deep into man, woman, money, and all of that. But I wanted to get some of these other aspects of love and love and finances out of the way first. The next couple I want to talk about is, let's talk about Kevin Hart. He takes care of his father because he understands that if my father is out here doing bad, it's a bad look. This Kevin Hart daddy over here in the crack house, y'all. Like that don't flow right. Yeah. When if you believe yourself to be a king, if you believe yourself to be regal, anything that you are connected to, you should try to make it untouchable because it's connected to you and your bloodline, your regalness, for lack of a better term. And a lot of people don't understand that concept, man. Y'all get selfish about this money. One of the biggest mistakes I made, and I'm going to share my own personal story. A lot of you know that my nephew was a victim to senseless gun violence a couple of years back. He was about 26 years old, and this was my firstborn nephew. And it really hurt me to my core. And it hurt me to my core because there were so many things that I had thought about doing and putting in place to make sure that he was always straight that I didn't do. Now, would those things have stopped this situation from happening? Maybe not. But it was just certain things that I didn't do that I felt like I should have did. Now, let me be clear. I did a lot. But I didn't do everything. And see, I'm the type of person that if I don't exhaust every resource, I'm still not okay.
I'm not, yeah.
You feel me? And so this story is kind of love and finance is important because I love my nephew very much. I still love my nephew very much. And it hurt me to my core. And it took me a long time for him to speak to my spirit to know that everything was okay. You feel me? And everything was okay and that he wasn't upset with me, so to speak. And it took a minute, for me to come to the conclusion that everything is all right because I was frustrated because I felt like I should have did more. And so now if a family member is not quite the way they should be, as much as I feel like I be wanting to let them learn on their own, I can't. I just can't do it. Not if they out in the world and in danger. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not putting nobody out on the street. I'm not doing none of that. And it's just because you my blood, you connected to my bloodline. And if I look in the mirror every day and call myself a king's supposed to be able to make shit happen. If you can't make shit happen, then you can't call yourself no king. That's the way I look at it. And so I was actually talking to somebody last night and I was saying, I consider myself to be a certain man of a certain caliber. And so everything that is connected to me, I must do my best to make sure that it is okay, that it is protected, that it is cared for. If I, what's going on with you, Wes? What's going on with you, Vincent Jackson? And everybody who on watching, holla at me. Let me know who on, so I can say what's up to.
What's up to everybody on Facebook? Check in. Let us know where you tuning in from real quick.
Yeah. And also, I wanted to tag some people, but I ain't get a chance to. So let me see. Yeah, I wanted to tag some people, but I ain't get a chance to. But anyway, and so for me, if you call yourself a king, then you need to, in my opinion, behave the way kings behave. And a real king is going to make sure everybody is straight. And so when I think about love and finances, I think about all the ones we love and the things that we are responsible for financially for them. And don't get me wrong, when I got a couple of family members knucklehead, and I'll play tough for a minute, but then eventually I'll double back and still try to make sure that they kind of straight. But one of the things I have learned about my family members, oh, for sure, you know it. But what I was saying was I was trying to tag, let me see. I might be able to do it now. Oh, no, I won't be able to do it because I have to do it when I'm first, sharing the video. But again, what's up to everybody? But one of the things that I do with my family members that I love is when my family members call and try to borrow money, I don't believe in carrying people because I believe that people are tougher and stronger and more resilient than they know. And so for me, what I do personally is if they want to borrow $350, I say, I'm not loaning you $350. I'll give you $175. You got to figure out where you're going to get the rest from. But the reason why I'll give a family member money and I won't loan it to them is because I don't want my family members to go back on their word and then blow the opportunity to borrow from me later. So I try not to let them put themselves in a trick bag. So I don't do loaning money. I might do it every now and then with somebody that I know is a good paymaster and their job is consistent and flowing, and they hit a hiccup and they've already proven to me that they take care of business. But if I feel like it could be a struggle because I can tell that my family member got a lot of other stuff going on and it just might not.
You don't want to put that stress on them.
Exactly.
Having that hanging over their head of having to pay you back.
Exactly. Yep. And just along these lines, I remember my cousin. I threw my cousin something on consignment many, many years ago when I was in the streets. And I knew I shouldn't have did it. I should have just gave him something. And we got it straight because my cousin is, we got a really good and strong relationship. But my cousin wasn't answering. I didn't see him for like a couple of months. He jacked up. He blew the bag, right? And I saw his brother, and I was like, man, tell him, I said, I don't care about that, man. Answer the phone. Tell him I said, get with me. I don't care about none of that, dog. Just tell him to get with me. In about an hour, he called me. All he wanted to know was that I wasn't tripping on that. You feel me? And but we didn't talk. And that's what loaning money can do. Loaning money can put a person in a situation where y'all ain't talking and then the relationship gets fractured. Right. I always used to tell this to people that I was kind of close to in the streets. I don't loan money out or I don't front people work because it break up relationships. I'll throw you something, I'll give you something, I'll look out. But it's another aspect of you save relationships sometimes when you don't loan. Because most people who need to borrow for a reason. Most people who need to borrow, not all, but most, 85% of the people who need to borrow because they really don't manage money well. That's really what that is. Now, it's going to be a few people who got a business idea or take care of their business. They just hit a snag or, car note came up and the car broke down at the same time, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But for the most part, most people who need to borrow money, they typically are not good with money. And that don't even make you a bad person. Because you're not good with money don't make you dumb. It don't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you irresponsible. It's just that you don't value how to use money. Or no one has taught it to you, and that's fine too. Because it's a learning process for all of us. So that's kind of my process. I'll give you before I loan you. But my thing is, I remember, like, I didn't like my sister. We were talking before, during our production meeting. how I didn't like my sisters to catch the bus. If you connected to me, I don't feel like you should be at the bus stop. That's Emmett's sister catching the bus. What? That don't even sound right to me.
Right.
You feel me? And I've always been on that type of time. And I want people to understand that if you a man and you don't take nothing else from what we discussing in love and finance today, the one thing that you should take away is everything that is connected to you needs to be cared for, even if you don't rock with them. Everything that is directly connected to you. I'm talking about your nuclear family, brothers, sisters, and all of that. I know that's a tough pill to swallow. You be having brothers stealing from you and all of that. And that's a different scenario. Once they have dishonored the relationship to the extent that they tie your hands, that's different. But I'm talking about all of these he say, she say, back and forth. We got into it because mama left you this and this. Like, none of that means anything. Like my mother used to say, blood is blood and mud is mud. And that's how I feel about that. So now let's talk about another aspect of love and finances. Them damn kids. Them damn kids. So look, I have 5 children. I'm not going to say their ages or nothing because then everybody will know which ones is which. But I got 2 that they typically work really hard to stand on their own. They work really hard. They only come when it get real.
Absolutely necessary.
When it get real. That's 2 of them. And you know, and they blow through money like it ain't nothing too. But I got them too. They try to man their own business, take care of their own business. They try to stand on their own too. Okay, I commend you for that. But if I gotta get you, I gotta get you. If I got it and they need it, I'ma give it. You feel me? I'll not do something for myself before I let them go without. But I really try to push my children to be self-sufficient because I want them to stand on I want them to get money. I got 4 girls. And so as a father, personally, I'm torn between my babies should have everything they want so they don't never have to need a man for nothing and this, and this. But there's another part of me that really wants them to stand on their own, to know money, have a good relationship with money, build their own wealth. So when I give them mine later, it's just they're going to know what to do with it. Because if they're always blowing and they always need, I don't really care about doing anything for my daughters. But if they always need, that means they don't understand money. They don't understand how to use it and leverage it and use it to attain resources. And if you're in that space, when I'm ready to give you whatever I want to give you when that time comes, you might squander it. And that's a lot of work to be then put together, and then all you do is just blow it. So I'm trying to work through that. So I'm still trying to educate them. So sometimes I'll do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll do, sometimes I don't. But every time I want to do it. Every single time I want to do for them what they feel like they need. So I got them 2 that take care of business. Then I got this one special one. This one special one is like, dig this here. I shouldn't need for nothing. I shouldn't want for nothing. It is owed to me by birthright. Because you had me, it's your job to take care of me.
And whatever I want. And
it's non-negotiable. And I'm talking about luxury items and all.
that got to be the baby.
Look, I ain't gonna tell. So look, hold on. That I just described 2. Then I just described another one, and so this one, when we go out to dinner, she'll get 2 entrees. Oh, did I say she? One of them will get 2 entrees. So they'll get chicken marsala, and then they'll say, I want chicken pasta too. And I'll say, why do you need 2 meals? Well, I'm not going to eat it all. I'm going to save some. I want to taste a little of this, taste a little of that. I'm like, that's rich people vibes. That's what rich people do. Wealthy people order more food than they need. You know what I'm saying? You got it, daddy. You got it. I'm like, look, dig this here. Dig this here, young one. We not gluttons. We not greedy. We not overdoing it. It's not about what I can do. It's about what is necessary. Enjoy one meal. But I had to get her together, and she still ain't together. That one still ain't together. So that's that, right? Then I got we've got 2 left because I got 4 girls
Right.
and a boy. Then I got this next one who really don't know how money works yet, and not is low maintenance. And so they're low maintenance, but every now and then they'll hear something like the word Yeezy, and then they'll try to hit you with the Yeezy or the Kyrie or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, because you really don't ask for that, we could do that. And but we're still in the process of trying to teach that one how to take care of things that they think are of value. You feel what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna tell you about all of them that I know what they've learned for sure. Then I got this other one who basically considers themselves like of high society, and they feel like doors should be open for them.
They're royalty.
Exactly. They got that. And so, but they are in this place now where they like, I'm gonna get it on my own. I ain't asking nobody for nothing. Cause I ain't got time for this. Cause I should never have
Right.
whatever. And so they in the process of trying to get it on their own, trying to be self-sufficient, but then also trying to be your friend early in the morning because they need something. But the thing about my children is, when they need something, they don't need $30. They don't need $50. They need 2, 3, 5, 700, or they need 1,000, or 500. It's like the numbers be large. And but you love them so much. So right now I'm battling with all of my children, how much I love them and really want to just do everything for them. And then where I really need to how I need to set them up and say, these are things you got to get on your own. And so I'm actually fighting that understanding myself. But one of the things that they all really have begun to understand, I believe, one of the things that I feel like they've all begun to understand is that they know how to be happy in any circumstance, whether it's flowing or not. They'll figure out a way. They can persevere, and they don't get all miserable because things are not as they figure.
Way, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like it's what can I say? It's not spoiled. Maybe it's entitled.
It's a little bit of entitlement there for sure.
Yeah. So like as you say, it's my birthright. I'm entitled to these things by, birthright. So that's like they feel like they're entitled, but at the same time they're not spoiled to the point where if they don't get it, they get to throwing tantrums.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yep. And so they'll go through their thing, and then that'll be that. But I do believe that they listen to a lot of my financial lessons, and they really are trying. Like they really are trying. And like one of them, like they all have cars. They all have cars. They ain't bought nan car. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes they'll hit you in the head with something like, "My car getting old. I need a new car." I'm like, who having that discussion? Like, I'm like, you don't know. Like when I was like my first car, I bought my first car. Not only did I buy my first car at 15 years old, I bought my brother's first car. So like they coming to me talking about, yeah, they didn't like one of them literally came to me one day and was like, yeah, I need a new car. I need a new car. Not no 2015. I need a new car.
It's time for me.
It's time for me a new car. My image. So it's fun having kids. You gotta love them. But yeah, man, love and finances. Blood is blood and mud is mud. I can't get into full detail on an experience that I had yesterday, but last night I had an experience where it was a no-brainer that I had to financially do something last night. And but I did give the person a speech before I did it, but there was no doubt that I was going to earlier in the day, and then I waited later in the day, and then I did it. And so that's my way of, kind of putting you in your place. Not just doing it immediately, but like, come on now, y'all. I love y'all. We got to get it together. You can't be out here squandering and playing around and then put me in a position where I got to bail you out. I love you and I'm going to do it, but you can't keep coming at me like that. And that's love, because blood is blood and mud is mud. So I'm going to do it. But, you got to be better. Not this time. We ain't talking about this time, but next time.
Don't condition yourself to not be able to handle things on your own by using me as a crutch to the point where it's like you can't develop the skills necessary to take care of things on your own.
Exactly. And now with this particular person, they typically take care of business on their own, and they really don't even want to hit me. But they know if I find out, I'm coming. But more importantly, you got to be, I know you don't really want me to be trying to save the day for you. You want to do things on your own. But in reality, you want the most important thing that you must do, if that's the case, is listen to my advice on the front end so you can make smart money moves so we not in that situation.
Be proactive as opposed to reactive.
Exactly. So I'm trying to get you to take care of business with your money, be money smart, so I don't have to come, because I don't want to do it either. I want you to be good. Mm-hmm. I want you to come to me and say,
I want you to give me $1,000.
Well, that, or you like, I'm about to buy this house cash. They want 32 for it. I got 30. I need 2. I need 7. I need 4. I need to be the closing of the deal of your big accomplishment.
Right. And
I got you. You feel me? And so that's kind of what I don't want to be talking. I need $200 on my car note because I don't even have car notes. I don't believe in car notes, and you want me to pay on your debt, and I don't even believe in debt. You got me effed up.
Right.
Because
taught you better. I'm trying to teach you better.
If you ain't got no car note, I can give you that $200 towards your business. You see what I'm saying? Or something like that. That's what I'm talking about. And so I be needing meet people that I love to be smart financially, where when I'm doing something for you, it's helping you grow to the next level, not getting your head from just above water. I don't believe in that. So let's close this thing off with love and relationships. I mean, fighting that love and finances, but the relationship status. So this is something that I don't talk about a lot, but a lot of people out here believe that a man should just financially take care of a woman. I don't categorically disagree with that. If that is the arrangement that you are building, then that's fine. But let me explain to you how it should look like to me for 2 Africans. First of all, you should marry a strong, intelligent, brilliant queen if you're going to get married. Second of all, a strong, intelligent, brilliant queen is not trying to sit at home and just be taken care of. And third, the most important thing you should do with your strong and brilliant and beautiful queen is put her in a position where she can work the business model that she wants to work, or work at the place that makes her happy. If your brilliant and smart and intelligent queen is waking up every day going to a job where she's miserable, or she's being sexually harassed because y'all don't have enough money coming in, so she got to have sex with the boss, that's a problem. You see what I'm saying? So what you want to do is position your queen. I don't disagree categorically that you should take care of your queen. But I don't think that the proper approach to a strong African relationship in America is the man doing everything. Bills, clothes, luxury items, purses, bags, everything, and the woman does nothing. It really creates a lopsided relationship in terms of what she is capable of contributing to what she is capable of contributing intellectually. A person people will never admit this, but if one person is doing everything and the other person is doing nothing, the person who is doing nothing does not get as much say-so. And people don't recognize that. Now, some people don't want no say-so. Some women just want to be a subordinate taken care of. I'm just going to do what he say. I'm going to pop out his babies and that's that. Then that worked for y'all. But again, I feel like you should marry a brilliant, intelligent, beautiful black queen. So if you do that, she ain't trying to just sit around and pop out no babies because she has a purpose and an agenda for her own life. So in the model that I would build, the model that I would want my daughters to be a part of, the model that I would want my son to be a part of is for them to marry into a situation where they make so much money the shit just goes in a pot. And we buy every business that we need. We take money out of the pot, pay the bills. Whoever's got money on them pays the dinner tab. The man goes out and buys the woman a brand new car. The woman might pay for dinner. The man might buy the house cash. The woman might buy the son's school clothes. And it's just like money don't matter. We ain't even talking about none of that. Who paying the bills? Oh, baby, the light bill and the gas bill didn't even get paid. Well, just take it out of here. Take this and do it. Take that, get that on the dresser and do it. Or the man saying, baby, I'm all the way in Texas. I ain't even got my car with me. Take care of the lights and the gas and I'll get you back or whatever. Or
it's a team effort. It's a partnership.
And
you know what I'm
African men and women must recognize that. It's not a competition. It should be a team effort because the truth of the matter is you guys are trying to hit the finish line together in an America that is trying to destroy the entire black family. So to say that the man should just take care of everything financially, oh, you can best believe there are going to be some drawbacks to that. And so I'm not saying I categorically disagree with it. It can work for 1 or 2% of people. But I believe that if that is your reality, where he is taking care of all the bills, taking care of everything, it's going to be two things that as a woman you are more than likely going to have to deal with. Number one, you won't have a lot of say-so in what color the paint is, who cut the grass, who do the business around the house, what trip y'all paying for. You won't have a lot of say-so in a lot of things that you might want to have a voice in. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, more than likely, he going to have somebody on the side. And so y'all can take that and do whatever y'all want to do with it. But if he's paying every single bill in the house, what you have done is you've created a scenario where he understands that even on a subliminal or even on a subconscious level where he's not even really trying to just throw it up in your face or hurt you on purpose. But he's going to have other women or another woman because he's going to feel like if I'm doing all of this, I should have something else. And he might not do it all the time. And does not necessarily make it right. But the reality is you're going to deal with both of those scenarios or you're going to deal with one of them if he's paying all the bills. So now to a woman, I would ask you, would you want to just contribute and do this or help a little bit with this and that and put your little 2 cents in here and there and have full 50% complete equal say in how the marriage and the family runs? Or would you rather sit back and get taken care of and pop out babies and know he has a side piece and know that every decision in the house, 90% of the decisions in the house are all him and you don't have any say so? How many scenarios do you believe exist where he's taking care of all the bills, he's taking care of you getting everything and you 50% of what you say go in the house and he ain't got nobody else but you? That's a 1% probability. It is a 1% probability. It is a 1% probability. So just know that. Now, with all of that being said, I don't have a strong opinion either way. It's what works for your relationship. So whatever works with your relationship, then you just make sure that that's what you do. You feel me? And I think that that's the most important thing. What works for you? Now, what I do believe is that a man should always make sure that everything is okay. If things are not okay, I believe that it is a man's responsibility to make sure that everything is okay. You either come up with the solution or you come up with the resources to solve the problem. And I'm going to leave it at that. Today was a great discussion. Thanks for everybody who chipped in and chimed in. Thanks for everybody who is on. Let me see who all commented today. We got 7 shares off my page. I want to say peace and love to my good brother Vincent Jackson. My good brother Wesley Keys was on here, and I couldn't see who else was on. So if y'all was on today, peace and love to you, and I appreciate you for supporting. I'm gonna share this to my page. You already know. Always go to the YouTube page, Revolutionary Wealth Builders. Send everybody over there to like, share, and subscribe. Go to 7 Mile Radio, like, share, and subscribe. Pound those notification buttons. You can always check us out on 7 Mile Radio /Black Wealth. And or you can check me out on my page, Emmett Black RWB on Facebook. So peace and love, and we're going to get with y'all next Thursday at 11 a.m. Revolutionary Wealth Builders on 7 Mile Radio. Peace.